the good, the bad, and the awful. Sometimes it's easier to learn design by studying why bad examples are bad than looking at good designs sometimes. But why is this? Because when we sit down in front of a bad layout or design, we start to discover what we don't like about it. This in turn helps us find out what not to do in our own designs. We start to develop a viewer empathy. I'm going to take this disordered layout and let you look at it for 1 minute. After viewing it for a little while, what suggestions do you have to make it better from your perspective? Having empathy toward the viewer is a highly sought out trait in a designer. There is a science beyond good layout, and we'll go over some of those techniques in the next lesson, like using grids and the golden ratio, but there's also a feeling that you develop on whether a layout works or not, and being able to hone that ability, it takes time and it takes practice, trying out and experimenting with lots of different layout options. For a typical client project, I may develop 2 or 3 totally different layouts. I'll then pick 2 layouts that I think have the strongest potential and send that to the client for review. Giving yourself and the client different layout options helps to spark new ideas. Sometimes the layout that's chosen by the client is one of the later layouts that I developed. After spending an hour or 2 with the design, it takes time to work out where elements should go. It's a complex puzzle, and your job is to place all the pieces together in the most compelling manner while still maintaining readability and delivering information. That is the art of design, not the science. So let's take our bad example of a layout design and make it better. First of all, the 3 dinner courses are divided in this layout. We want to make sure everything that can be grouped together in a logical fashion is grouped together. Also, there's just too much information going on here, and I'm not sure where my eye should focus. This needs a clear focal point. Perhaps the use of a photo may help here. If we can organize the text in a better layout, it may leave us more room for a photo, and right now, there's 0 room. The font choices are all over the place, and I don't mind having a sans serif and a serif font in the same design, but these seem to be random and haphazardly chosen. The join us and the fourth to remember lines seem to be competing with each other. I think join us may not need to be as large and can be a bit smaller, maybe even a part of the fourth to remember phrasing. So combining those 2 into one headline and making join us smaller will really help clean this up and give us more room for a photo. The social media icons are an eyesore here. Everyone knows companies have a Facebook page, or at least they should. So let's make the social icons on the same line with the other contact info and make them much smaller. Any way we can reduce the focus on so many different elements, the better. The dividing bar here does not seem to be doing too much, as it's already a solid blue box dividing these content columns, so removing extra stuff like this will be critical to simplifying the design. There's no type hierarchy, no single headline or area of body copy, so we need to make sure we add some type hierarchy while we redo the layout of the poster to add a nice sense of structure. And lastly, there's just too many stars competing with the other layout elements. Let's reduce the amount of stars, but still have some remaining to go with our 4th of July theme. now that we adjusted our layout quite a bit, let's see how the changes have affected the final result. First of all, the courses are now in order and read as such. Notice the newly added type hierarchy. There is now a larger font size for the course number, and even smaller size for the course name, and the smallest but still readable size for the course descriptions. Notice the dividing lines between the three courses? This helps break up that large single blue box into different sections. Also notice how the lines are not too thick or too white to take away from the text elements around it. The combining of the two original headlines into one has really helped us give us room for a photo, but has also made those elements the main focal point of the design instead of having so many different focal points. Lastly, the contact and social media icons are all together in one line, making them visible but not taking away from the main theme and call to action of the design.